Welcome to the Business Spotlight. I'm Pat Dewar. Today I've got an excellent show. My guest is Kendall. Ken is a CFP, a CLU, and an excellent financial planner in the DFW area. He's actually out of Flower Mound. I've known Ken for a number of years now, and I'm really thankful that I have. He's one of those guys that the more you know, the more you like. He's been a financial planner for over 45 years, and to me, that's tremendous value to any of his clients. I know that as many throughout Texas and probably throughout the U.S. that he works with, and the fact is that he's someone that I've grown to really care for as a friend, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, if you started this back when, I always like to say for some people watching, it's like when the earth cooled, you know, for us that were back there when we had black and white TV. What got you started? I mean, what's your story?
Oh, I wish I could say that I had this revelation and the heavens opened up and God came down and told me what to do. Actually, I grew up in a real conservative home. I was the oldest of 7 kids, and when I was about 9 or 10, my dad went into the insurance business. And so I began to appreciate the value of insurance and the value of getting paid for what you do and commission kind of a thing. And so while I was in college, I was going to get married after my sophomore year, and we just got talking about what am I going to do, and decided, well, let me go ahead and get licensed and try to sell insurance, and really fell in love with the business. And so rather than become a football coach and a biology teacher like I thought I was going to, I decided to make a career out of this, and it's just been a real fun journey now for 45 years.
Now, CFP, CLU are designations.
Right.
For me, they say you have a clue in the financial realm. But for you and people in your industry, what does it mean to be a CFP or CLU?
Well, they would be kind of like a master's degree, sort of. CLU is Chartered Life Underwriter. It's really more insurance, tax, financial, estate planning oriented. CFP is Certified Financial Planner, and that's a much more broad. It does look at insurance, looks at investments, looks at, again, taxation, estate, legal documents that have to do with your estate planning and so on. And so it's just I mean, you could know everything you need to know without having the designation. The designation just kind of are testament to the fact that you know what you're talking about.
Like having a master's or a doctorate or whatever in a certain field,
right.
It gives that validation to the rest of the universe. Yes, you know what you're talking about.
Right.
But the other thing that I know about those curriculums, having had some background in it in a previous life, the thing that was so amazing about them is that they help you become a risk assessment expert. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Now, do you see that, or how would you describe that?
No, I think that's a good analogy. A lot of financial decisions are really assessing risk. You know, there is no such thing as no risk.
Right.
And so you have to learn what risks you're trying to mitigate, which risks you're trying to, take on yourself. And that's true not only in insurance, but in financial planning and investment planning and everything, really. There are always risks and trade-offs and so on.
Well, I think a lot of that whole realm, isn't it, is designed around the litigious world we live in, and the potentials for taxation and tax change, and what's available now, and how can you position yourself the best for all those situations. Isn't that a big part of what makes room for the financial planner?
Sure.
In a person's future?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have come to realize over the years that it's really not a do-it-yourself project. There are so many things that can impact a decision here, can have an impact over here, and so that's part of what we do, is have people take a much broader look at their overall situation.
What would you say has been one of the most satisfying moments in the last 45 years that really is the thing that recharges you in keeping you going in what you're doing? Well,
if I have a client that retires and in review meeting they say, I couldn't have done this without the planning, or if I've talked with a survivor family where someone has passed away and they've had the insurance and they've had the documents in place, or children going off to college partly because of the help that we were able to give mom and dad putting the money away. I mean, those kind of things really kind of help you, get recommitted and rebuild the passion.
Now, In any kind of disasters type of thing, I mean, I know that, well, death is a big disaster. You don't really do any of the other kinds of insurance that does that, like home and
No,
stuff
I don't.
like that.
Yeah, we don't do property and casualty or auto insurance or that sort of thing. We have other people that we refer to that do that.
And when you look at the services that you bring to the table, what are some of the things that you are really providing to your client?
Well, a lot of the people that I talk to, really I meet them at some point of transition. It seems like they've either lost a job and now they need to know what to do with their retirement plan, or they've gotten married, they have children, they bought a business, they've sold a business, they've received an inheritance. I mean, lots of things like that that sort of trigger a triggering event.
Very good. Well, I know that as we move forward into this, we're going to be talking more about the aspects of what you're doing that's unique and special. One of the other things that we're looking forward to is that Ken has a group of over 4,200 business owners in the DFW area that he's at the helm of. And that will be a lot of fun to talk about. More to come. This is Pat Dewar, the Business Spotlight. We'll talk to you next time in just a few minutes, a few seconds so much. Thanks.